Coming up, Priti Patel is at it again. When asked if so-called England fans were right to boo players taking the knee, she said that's a choice for them, quite frankly. To which former Tory Chairwoman Baroness Warsi tweeted, "It's time to stop the culture wars that are feeding division," adding that dog whistles win votes but destroy nations. But it's far worse than dog whistles. Now, Patel is introducing the Nationality and Borders Bill, condemned by the UNHCR, her latest extra dose of cruelty towards those seeking to exercise the universal right to seek asylum. Keep watching. If you enjoy these videos, please click the like button, subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. Well, Priti Patel is at it again, as her dog whistle racism is condemned not just by Lady Warsi, but also by former minister and Tory hero Johnny Mercer, along with many other politicians across the political spectrum. She was keeping a low profile this week, sending her deputy along to answer questions for her in Parliament. This is a tactic the Pritster uses regularly, ducking out when the going gets tough, whether as a result of her treasonous behaviour that led to dismissal under Theresa May, the report of extensive bullying across 3 government departments that was dismissed out of hand by Boris Johnson, or now the dog whistle racism row. She's also getting stick for saying on the failing GBB's news channel that she doesn't support people participating in taking the knee, or what she called that type of gesture politics. That's hilarious when her own boss is all about gesture politics, whether it's suddenly being the England football team's biggest fan, decking out Downing Street in a tacky display of England flags and bunting, waving a kipper around during the Brexit negotiations, driving a bulldozer carrying the slogan "Get Brexit Done" through a polystyrene wall, or driving around in a big red bus with a big fat lie written on the side. But no, Patel and her boss don't do gesture politics, do they? She's now tweeted that she felt the racist abuse towards the England players who missed penalties was vile and has no place in our country. But as England footballer Tyrone Mings said, Patel herself had stoked the fire by saying that people had the right to choose to boo the England team taking the knee. See, what Patel and other culture war warriors claim is that they don't support taking the knee because of the association with the Black Lives Matter movement. But taking the knee goes back to the days of Martin Luther King and was more recently revived by American football star Colin Kaepernick. And it's a simple gesture against racism, according to the players. And surely they're the ones that know why they're taking the knee. As ex-Tory minister Johnny Mercer says, BLM has nothing to do with it, any more than right-wing idiots using the poppy means that he would drop wearing the poppy. You know, when Johnny Mercer is having a pop at you, Priti, perhaps you might give this culture war some reconsideration, because it looks like you and your boss are on the losing side. The trouble is, if Priti Patel spends less time stoking the fires of the Tory-invented culture wars, she'll have more time to work on her new Nationality and Borders Bill, giving her the power to expand the prison-like camps for asylum seekers and to potentially send them overseas for processing, if she can find any other country that will agree to accept them. The bill also outlines measures to be able to prosecute asylum seekers who sell boats across the Channel. But apparently the current wording is worrying the Royal National Lifeboat Institution, the RNLI, because it will criminalise the act of saving lives at sea, which is pretty much what the RNLI is there for. The justification that Patel and right-wing populist politicians across the world give for these punitive measures is that it deters people from undertaking dangerous, life-threatening journeys and encourages them to apply for refugee status through official channels. She says the new bill is designed to ensure the UK's asylum system is based on need, not the ability to pay people smugglers. But globally, Britain included, only a tiny fraction of the world's refugee population is resettled through official schemes, which is why they have to take the dangerous alternative, risking death. They have no choice. But Priti Patel is presenting the bill as though these tough deterrents are in the best interests of the refugees themselves. If she was honest, it's just about keeping her fearful and anxious right-wing voters happy that black and brown people are being deterred from entry altogether. In the UK, there's currently a backlog of 100,000 asylum cases because of the underfunding in the British asylum system, which is, by the way, an all-time record. It's never been this bad. That makes it almost impossible to gain refugee status through official channels. That's where the focus should be if she genuinely wanted to improve the refugee situation. But no, it's all about the optics for her hard right supporters. Patel and other populists of her ilk really don't seem to understand the reality of migration. The people attempting to enter the country unofficially are desperate. They've generally lost their homes and face the threat of death or persecution in their country of origin. So, however punitive the measures she imposes on them, the option of staying put in their country of origin will always still be worse. To be honest, Patel perhaps does know that. But I'm going to tell you an old joke that may not be all that funny, but perfectly encapsulates how I believe she's thinking. There's two backpackers trekking across the Serengeti, and they spot a lion running towards them in the distance. One of the backpackers kicks off his hiking boots, reaches into his backpack, takes out a pair of trainers or sneakers, and starts putting them on. The other backpacker says to him, "Mate, I don't think you can outrun a lion." To which he replies, "I don't have to outrun the lion, I just have to outrun you." Well, I did warn you it wasn't that funny, but the point is, Priti Patel is putting her running shoes on, making it harder for refugees to get to Britain, hoping they'll stop at Greece, Italy, Spain, or even France first. But with our colonial legacy in Britain, many of these people are more familiar with British culture and speak English rather than Greek, Italian, Spanish, or French, making it much easier for them to find work here in the UK. Plus, many have existing family here, or other connections or friends. Priti Patel doesn't understand that the first country these refugees reach may well be a safe country, but that these people don't want to just exist, they want to build a new life. And Britain has a proud history of welcoming immigrants who have played a fundamental part in this nation's success and prosperity.